Peace, 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 peace. What's the science? All right, there's a topic right there. Peace, peace, man. It's been a little bit, not long, but it's been a while. Hold on, let me fix this shit. Get it all nice and comfortable. All right. All right, so peace, peace, peace. So I wanted to do this live, um, because I've seen on social media uh people to claim to be the 5% trying to separate us. People are trying to separate the 5% on social media. And it's supposed to be some people that have uh, recognizable names in this nation. Now, for me, that don't really mean anything, well, because you have a name and um, you're known and stuff, right? But it's some of those old tropes, some of those old disagreements that people are given life again. And I never really saw the issue. And even on my channel, there's been some people that came on. Pace, awareness, pace, pace, pace. Well, channel. Even on my channel, there's been people that came on and um tried to blast me because I have my supreme mathematics a certain way. Oh, I'm looking for some. And of course, that's not really something that discourages me. From day one, I was taught to do the knowledge and to do my own research, think for myself. Uh, I was always told there's no leader in the 5%, meaning there's no one sole person. There's no God above all gods that rule us all. You see what I'm saying? The black man is God, always has been, always will be. And so uh, there's not just one that has authority over all of us. You see what I'm saying? No matter what kind of ego a person has. And so, when I say don't separate the 5%, there's, and I could be blowing it out of proportion, but I've seen uh, social media channels that have a good following, like Instagram, got tens of thousands of followers and stuff. And the name is 5%, 5% Nation. And so, and it says the official page of the 5% Nation. So it's not like Jimmy Jam down the street talk about the 5%, right? So it's like I'm looking at the videos and it's kind of the same old conversations, power refinement, culture, freedom, how all this other stuff, blase, blase, right? And I'm looking in the comments and people are, they're, you know, people talk about you're not a real 5%er and all this other stuff. You got it wrong. You was taught wrong. Blase, blase. You need to fix it. You're all confused. All this other stuff. And maybe, look, I'm not saying the brother that it was talking to was clear in his understanding, was clear in his wisdom. Um, but like one of my big brothers said, like, there's greater things to worry about than hold on. I still haven't found my I'm not, still haven't found my phone. I need to get my phone so I can share. Almighty True Divine is supposed to be coming on, so I'm supposed to peace awareness. Where you from? Shit. Yeah. So the the whole you're not a 5%er because of this and that. It's like, who do you think you are? See, who do you think you are? Are you the one God that rules over all of us? Are you the one that when a law returned, he put you in charge? That's who you are? Because if not, then I don't understand what makes you think you have the authority to say those kind of things. Like, picture me saying, "Oh God, if you don't have if you don't have freedom in your mathematics, then you're not a 5%er." That's crazy talk. You know, I was told even by brothers in my tree that freedom is at 40 or more. Fuck that. I want freedom now. I understand, you get out of the 1 to 40, all that good stuff, but look, man, I want freedom now. Shit, not all of us made it to 40. Not all of us makes it to 40. Just in the grand scheme of things, the grand not everybody in this nation made it to 40. Let's just say that. Not every 5%er since 1964 to now has made it to 40 years old. And so to say, that's something that, I don't, I understand it. Me, I don't agree. I don't agree. Because I know you're physical. Your physical degree, you're dealing with in the 1 of 40. I understand that. I got you. I understand that. And certain degrees, your physical degree, you're also dealing in the 1 of 36. Now, no one's ever told me this. I just, I get, yeah. Well, I mean, maybe at the end, Paystar Kim, he said, for the most part, that means they didn't get peace and happiness on the planet, though. Maybe towards the end. Yeah, maybe towards the end, you know, what will be your rewards in regards to destruction of the devil? Now, I get that. Look, I'm with you. I'm saying I want my freedom now. But it'll be crazy for me to say in your mathematics, because you don't have freedom, you're not a 5%er. See, I've been seeing a whole bunch of yeah. No, I got you. Bro, if you from the hood and you return before 40, it's most likely was it peace and nah, I know. I know. I know. That's a big portion of people from the hood returning before 40 is because of that. Whether it's violence, whether it's uh, uh, drugs, alcohol, stuff like that. Uh, yeah, indeed. It was most likely that they got caught up in death, hell, and destruction. Yeah, peace, Atif. True indeed. Um, and within that, also, you know, death, hell, and destruction. The destruction part is also community and yourself, because some people didn't take care of their bodies, and they went through health issues and high cholesterol, hypertension, diabetes, stuff like that. Um, so yeah, that's I don't see that being peace right there. I don't see that being peace. Uh, However, I do want my freedom right now, and I don't know if I'm going to make it a 40. I can't call it. My plan is to. That's the plan. Uh, but until that clock hits, until the sun comes up on September 27th, 2029. I don't know if I'll make that. Well, we just got an example of why what's on the paper isn't nearly as important as how you live. See people too worried about what other people are saying. Yeah, yeah. Look, man. My thing is, um, just people coming in the name with a name and separating the people. You see, because I mean, this is an old thing. Power, refinement. That's bigger than the issue with culture or freedom. That at least in my experience, is bigger than that. Uh, the problem with refinement is just it's but yeah, social media isn't, in one aspect, it's a good way to connect and build and connect so that you can build in person. Peace. Oh, peace, Mel. Peace to God. Peace. This is Mel. Peace, Mel. How you living, Lord? because the new teachers is doing that. See, they're teaching whoever they teach that there's some type of cleanup crew and they need to come here looking to destroy. Exactly. Exactly. That's what it's looking like. It's like, okay, we got the numbers now. Okay, let's get our numbers up and let's clean this up. Oh, Dark Kim, the dude I was telling you a long time ago, the one that was rapping with Allah Real. Remember the one with the dreads that I was telling you about, and he was in that conversation with a brother about the Understanding God degree. He's one of the people on there. His name is Allah Magnetic. I finally figured out his name. He cut his hair. So, but I know his voice because I listened to that. I listened to his video hello time. Yeah. See, I teach people to go around everybody and take the best part for self, not to look amongst the 5% for your ops. Oh, the brother that I was like, do you know him? Because he rapped. I showed you a video of him rapping with a Law Real, like a Law Real was singing, and then he was rapping. And then I showed you a video of him having a discussion with someone talking about uh the Understanding God degree, and it's saying why instead of what does. Why does the devil teach the 85% that God is a righteous unseen being that exists everywhere? Instead of saying what does the devil teach? But I don't know exactly what his said, but that was a conversation. I was like, do you know him? And he was like, yeah, it's hard to tell, blah, blah, blah. And so that's the guy I found. His name is Allah Magnetic. I'm good. Listen to you talk that knowledge today. Eric O's born day. Oh yeah, I gotta reach out to him. I still haven't got my phone. I don't know where the hell my phone went, but I'm gonna hit up. I'm gonna hit up Diesel. That's peace. Yeah. Yeah. And even the people I teach, I tell them to go around different trees too. Because we all one, and I'm not saying I got it all. And so there's brothers that had the knowledge before me, and even have a relationship with people in my tree as well, and those outside the tree. Because I don't got it all. You see what I'm saying? And so once you talk to people and stuff like that, and you can get a better picture because there are people I haven't met. You see, I haven't met everybody in my tree. And so when brothers ask about firstborn prince, you know, redirect them to someone else. When brothers ask about the first nine born and how they were and situations and stuff, okay, you could talk to Savior Knowledge or you could talk to Lord Just, right? And so yeah, it's actually a story behind the 37th degree and what it really says. That's not for here. Yeah. Yeah. Allah said, if you want to see me, come together. And I guess they don't want to see Allah because some people are trying to separate us. But you something that I never understood is that when it comes to in that situation, that because a brother, the only reason I actually kind of like got caught up in that it was on Instagram and went down the rabbit hole is because one of my brothers came to me and asked me about power refinement, and I gave him the knowledge like a couple of years ago, and you he kind of he goes to a cipher that uh that they don't have it, right? And so he's amongst people that don't have that, and uh, may challenge him at any point or whatever. And so he was asking me about if I am going to change my mathematics to just power and and just culture. And I'm like, no, because I can relate power and refinement. I can relate those two, especially if you want to get to the real definition of power. It's easily relatable, easily. So the thing that I kind of understand, but it's like almost misleading to um ignore the the actual definition of power and saying that refinement has nothing to do with power. It's ludicrous. Stop at five. I didn't see none of them around P. He was a grown man and I was a kid. So I'm not saying I can account for his whole activities, but a lot of these people I don't know them. Yeah, yes. It's the crew that you were saying that, trying to build up a gang, and it's yeah, it's one of the he's one of those people. And so it's like, you know, I'm not going to come on here and make an announcement. Yeah, Wise Prince, his name is brother Prince Muhammad, brother whatever Muhammad, my honorable name Muhammad, or whatever. Like, I don't care what. Also, the same brother told me that there's going to be a push for everyone to have the same 120. Now, I haven't confirmed with the individual that he said whose degrees we would have, but my brother said that it's a push for everyone to have the same copy of 120. So I need to confirm that before I say the name, but yeah. Look, I'm going to tell you like this. I was a thief, a liar, and a manipulator when I got the knowledge. So my freedom was on the line, and I need a refinement. That's why I got it. Look, hey, uh, and there's a whole bunch of people. The 72-hour fast is a form of refinement that we all need to go through. You just don't walk into this nation all willy-nilly because you want to. You got to deal with the 72-hour water fast. And there may be there's could be different historical reasons why. But one is to clean your ass up. Monday you can't be a pork chop eating brother, and then Tuesday say you universal God Allah, and nah, that's not how this works. Steps and stages. That's why I got everything else. Fuck all y'all. Hey, peace of God.
Peace, Lord. Peace. How you doing?
Doing well. I was looking for my well, I didn't get up because I was online, but I was going to get my phone to share the link, but yeah, I haven't been able to find my phone. But right now
So,
we're talking about don't separate the 5%, because
Don't
I've seen, huh?
don't separate the 5%.
Yeah, because online I've seen some people, and these people have like, oh, the official page of the 5% Nation, and stuff like that. Also, a law of youth center or whatever, and they're saying certain things that separates us. Like, you're not like a real fight. You don't got it right. You're confused if you got power or refinement, that kind of stuff. The same old thing. That whole issue with power or refinement.
I got knowledge in 81. So before 81, I have no claims. Well, how I got it in 81, if I'm not mistaken, is power or refinement. But before 81, if there was changes, I don't have nothing to do with that because I wasn't here. I mean, that's terrible. The whole thing is just terrible because you always have the power to make changes. So, for us to argue over power refinement, if the degree is power, it's power. If it's power refinement, it's power refinement. I mean, I really don't want to argue over that, because I don't see no damage done.
Yeah, me
Either
neither.
way you look at it, I don't. But I'm not trying to change anything. What I'm saying, it is what it is, meaning, I respect the rules and the law of our culture, and I love our nation. I'm not here to separate and divide and conquer. We all, I don't think the correct word is we all under one flag, but what I am striving to say is that we all represent the same flag. I think that's a better choice of words. You know what I'm saying? And if we all represent the same flag in one nation, if I'm not mistaken, we all won. Whether we like each other or we don't like each other, whether you love us or, we get along, we don't get along, we still a part of the same nation. Because it's impossible for me to lie to myself and say that everybody likes me. There's nowhere in the world I'm going with that one. I can't go with that. And I can respect that everybody don't like me because I love my nation regardless of whom or what. You're saying good, bad, or indifferent. You're saying learning experiences, growing pains, all of the above. I love our nation, and I'm proud to be a part of our nation. And I'm here to help our nation grow and develop, like myself, for my people, for our community, for the upliftment of the children, the upliftment of the families. So I'm not here to argue with you over wasting energy instead of putting positive energy into positive ciphers so we could build, grow, and elevate. I don't think that I don't think that's all. I don't think that's my agenda. You know what I'm saying? If it's power, it's power. It's power. It's power. Be what it may, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Before I came around, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Or it is what it's not. Whatever it is, it is. But I don't see no damage done. Same thing I go for culture of freedom. I got culture of freedom. I got 110, 136, 114. Regardless of you got 110, 136, 114, or 114, 136, we still gonna quote that same degree. We still gonna quote them same lessons. You know what I'm saying? And we still gotta make things better to help the children home and abroad. The Black families, the children, our families, you know what I'm saying? Because they're blind, deaf, and dumb. So we still got to set a positive example to show them a way that maybe they'll wake up. Maybe it wouldn't take them, some of them, 35 to 50 years to wake up.
Peace.
It might be sooner.
Yo, Divine.
Peace, Lord.
What the fuck is up, man? Last time I seen you was in the hospital. You ain't covered. Tell me, I'm wondering where the fuck you at. You just lollygagging on the internet. I'm up here telling people, yeah, man, I ain't see Devon, man. Last time I see Devon, he's in the hospital. You over here maxing and relaxing.
Yeah, I still support. I still donate to the cipher of keeping them doors open for a law school in Mecca. You know what I'm saying? I
Well, you know,
donate
I'll be right
currency.
back.
I always cash out the currency to the guards to keep to keep them doors open.
wait. Who you be cash out?
Boy, justice.
You cash
I
out
didn't
with
want to
Boy
put that on the internet, but I
No, you're
don't. I
not.
don't. We don't have no
No, look,
secrets.
it's not. No, it ain't nothing wrong. I'm just saying that. Look, you know that it's certain things that I do on my own.
Right.
Meaning, like, look, just now, the insurance. When in order for us to use the gymnasium at the rally now, right? We got to have insurance.
Wow.
Now, look, I paid that. Me and a couple of brothers, we paid that, and we didn't get no money from the board.
Oh.
So I'm just saying that look, when you got a couple dollars and and you want to add on to the school, don't forget about me, because they don't give me nothing. Well, I ain't gonna say
Not
nothing.
even. Not even. Boy, just you from Pelon, right?
I'm from New York.
It was wonderful. Uh. I thought that by me donating the currency to Born Justice, that I'm trying to hit a home run to give it. I can't give it to
No,
everybody.
I didn't tell you don't give him nothing. I
Right.
just said don't forget about me when you do your thing, because basically I'm like see what they doing, right? This is what I'm saying. If we was in the corporate America, right? I'm like
Yes.
I'm an independent contractor.
Yes.
So say for instance, right, on the show and prove, Saturday and Sunday is being handled by a committee of people. But Friday is just me by myself and whoever rock with me.
Uh-huh.
You see what I'm saying? And
I'm
that's how
striving with my little bit of currency. I'm striving to put it somewhere where I'm going to hit a home run with a little swing.
well look, this is what I got on the table right now. Just to let you know, right? So on Friday, we got the burgers and the Franks and all of that is already there, right? So
Yeah.
I'm trying to get a couple people.
Well, it
I got
sounds.
somebody bringing
Yeah.
vegan food. You know
Yeah,
what
for
I'm saying?
them. Yeah.
I got somebody. They're going to be making like some chicken and potato salad, rice. Just to round out the burgers and Franks, so it's there something for everybody. And I got the queen that makes the carrot cakes and the
Wonderful.
brownies and everything. She's coming through. You know
So
what I'm
how much
saying?
currency would you need? How much currency would you need from me?
Nah, God, it's whatever you got. If, like you said, if you
Okay.
got a little
Can
bit,
I
if you
do
got
cash out with you?
$20, if you got $20, that's worth the. You understand what I'm saying? If that's what you got, that's what you got.
Right.
That's the quality, God. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying?
I try to run away from cookouts, but I would love for the gods and the earth when they come to the parliament, especially from other places,
Well, look,
they
it's
have
not
we
that.
have
It's not
something to
just
eat.
that. Well, look,
They have something to eat.
Let me tell you another thing. Because on that Saturday at the show and prove,
Yeah.
I still got about 30 or 40 tickets left. I'm about to take the kids to the movies.
Wonderful.
So when they over there, I want to get them a little, popcorn and soda, everything, so they can feel like, oh shit, the guys looked out for me. So see now,
Can I
when they
cash out
get
you some
older,
currency too, God? Let's
when they
get to
get
the point.
older,
Can I
and
cash out
somebody
you?
5% say something to them, they could be like, oh shit, yo, guys, yeah, I know the guys doing more. I'm gonna take heed to what they saying, because I
Right.
know how to get down.
Right. Can I cash out you some currency?
Of course you can, guy. I'm
Wonderful.
just telling you. I'm just saying that. Listen, sometimes
What
look.
movie they going to see this year?
Oh yeah, I don't know. I usually, when it gets close, I just ask the kid like, what you think is popping.
Oh,
They
okay.
see me, I step back, guy. I step back. Like, yeah, I be in the front. Y'all know me. You know what I'm saying? But when we do the things, guy, I step back.
Right.
And you know what I mean? I'm not gonna how much tell the kids what movie is gonna be dope, that.
We don't know what movie, whatever. I say go whatever's playing. Fun later for it.
No,
Yo,
I'm just
win,
telling
lose,
you
or
that's one of
draw.
the problems,
Something.
guy, is that you got people in they power ads saying that yeah, the baby's just gonna like this right here. Yeah, they like that back in motherfucking 1979.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When niggas ain't have no technology, son. We playing with fucking dots on the screen, son. These niggas got these
Yeah.
niggas playing
Well,
artificial intelligence.
right. When I was with the baby that I thought was mine, I took her to go see Harry Potter. Then it started raining. Then we had to backtrack and then go catch a
They
cab.
do shit. Listen, guy, I've been to all the shit. Guy. I've been to
Yeah.
Coraline. I've been to all the new shit, guy. The
Uh-huh.
the sponges, the what you call it? Not the you got the SpongeBob, and then you had the other movie with the you say is yellow motherfucker. They look the same to me. My daughter said, "Man, how could you confuse this? This is totally different."
Right.
To
I'm
me,
with you,
I'm like, it's
Lord.
the same
I
shit
just
you watch at the house.
I
But
need
look,
to learn. I need to know your cash app so I know so I can mail you some currency and I mail Born
yeah.
Justice a couple of
And look,
dollars.
here's another thing that we doing too. On the 10th, right?
Uh-huh.
Tomorrow, Saturday, we taking kids to they have an annual kids day at LaGuardia Airport where they let the kids play with the simulators and introduce them to all the what's your name. So we going out there tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Well, I
Now,
could cash app you. I could cash app you a couple of dollars now, God. I just need to
all right,
know
look.
your cash app
You know
name.
why we need it? You know why we need
Yeah.
it? Because we applied to get the pass. You know the
Right.
pass when you get on the train and you show
Right.
the booth conductor and they let all the kids on.
Right.
So we applied to get the pass. We applied to get the pass, but it ain't come back yet. So
Right.
we gonna do it regardless. So if we don't get the pass in time, we gonna pay for them to get on the train or whatever they got to do. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Right.
I'm just saying that. Look, I'll be doing things that look when you come to the rally or you hear people talking all these things, they don't never talk about them things, God.
Right.
You know why?
Right. I'm
Because
with you,
they not
God.
down. They
I'm
not
with
down.
you.
They not with us.
I'm on disability and I get a check once a month, but I'm with you, God. I'm still with you. You know what I'm
Is
saying?
Coney Island still open?
Yeah, but it's out there. It ain't like see back in the day, we should just go out there. Now that's like it kind of opened back up as a resort area. You know what I'm saying? That like Coney Island it was like one of the last things of the new New York. You know what I'm saying? Where like, when you go down to the Deuce now, that's not the Deuce no more. That's
Right.
Disneyland and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Coney Island is kind of like that. Like when it opened back up, everybody was like, yo, we going to Coney Island. And then people was like, nah, son, it's like $30 to get on one ride.
Yeah.
It ain't like back in the days, that was some shit that we ride our bikes to Coney Island. Or you know what I mean? Like it's just, we go out there and have fun and shit. It ain't like that no more.
How far away is it?
It's
Well,
on the
for
other
me,
side of America. It's
for
on the
me,
other side of New
it was
York.
tight far
And
back.
especially coming from Mecca or Pelon, it's a mission. It's a straight hour or 2 hour ride.
Even from Medina, it's a mission.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Coney Island and Far Rockaway
Yeah.
is off the
They call it
coast of
Far
New York.
Rockaway because it's far.
Right. All that shit is in the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
And it's kind of artificially connected to the mainland.
Yeah. Yeah. That garbage they built what they call that? They what you call it?
You see that shit broke right down. When they had Hurricane Sandy, it broke right down.
Yeah. I heard they were underwater. Everybody in the basement was underwater. Whole
See,
floor
I'm
underwater.
gonna tell you one thing though. Getting back into the topic of this live stream, that people
Yes.
gotta realize is that this is not a religious thing.
Right.
There's no angel Gabriel in this knowledge.
Right.
It didn't come down, right, and told Allah everything. We're going to dictate everything to you, how it should be and how it's supposed to be day one. So we have things, guys, that's a part of the history that changed. And see, it changed in the 60s. And now you got people that wasn't born until the 70s, right? Arguing over that shit because they really don't know. If you haven't been amongst multiple trees and many people, then you don't know. And there's a lot of things that you don't accept. You understand what I'm saying? Like, for instance, guy, look, you know about Raise Your Rod? You know about that?
Who you talking to, me?
Anybody? Do y'all know about Raise Your Rod?
Raise
Your Rod.
Nah.
Yes, I learned that in the Son of Man.
Yeah.
God, listen. That wasn't in my sight. The brothers around me, they didn't hear that. So I learned that. God, word is born. Let me tell you how I learned that. I learned that from 85. They asked me if I was getting ready to observe Raise Your Rod. I'm like, what the fuck is Raise Your Rod? They didn't care, just 5% there. How you don't know? I asked somebody and they told me the story, God. I never that didn't come to the brothers that I grew up around. You understand what I mean? A lot of things, it wasn't just based on what Allah is saying, it's based on what you did something, right? That prompted Allah to give you the wisdom that he gave you.
I always heard that was from Prince.
What?
The Raise Your Rod?
I ain't never heard that from.
Peace, Doc Kim.
Yeah. You heard
that was God, from him what I remember. What capacity? I remember in the Son of Man, Raise Your Rod was made. Me and you, we supposed to go on our fast, so we don't raise our rod for that month.
Now look, that was a certain science, right? But here's the thing. Yeah. I never heard, because see, if that was the case, right, then that would mean that we all should be standing there, right? If I'm not mistaken, right? That means that we all should be standing there in January, and anybody that has a baby in January is suspect.
But everybody,
I never heard
everybody don't get the Son of Man in our nation.
All babies born in a nation in January is that's
everybody in the nation don't get the Son of Man. So I know where that's going. Everybody.
Remember, look, the Son of Man, and
that's an old one too. That's an old one in the Son of Man, by the way.
But I know it wasn't in the 60s.
Oh, I wasn't here in the 60s. I was just telling Wise Prince. I got knowledge in 81. You know what I'm saying? I got knowledge in 81, but I started being active in 82. So in the past, I did say 82, but I actually got knowledge in 81. You know what I'm saying? But my inactivity, I was like, it took me to grow, like to learn more, to grow more.
Yeah. But see, guys, you gotta remember, back in the days, we was getting the knowledge as kids, guys. And a lot of times we didn't know what we had. It took you know what I'm saying? Like you grew up with it and then you realize what the shit was.
Right.
Also, these individuals that I was talking about, they was using the Son of Man as a source to say certain things.
Yes.
I mean, listen, Shem God is our big brother, God. He absolutely was there. And see, it's not that's what I'm saying. None of these brothers is liars. See what it is. Look, Jaqui was at a rally one time, and he said Allah had told him, "I'm still learning, Saint." So if he's still learning, that's what I'm saying. That a lot of things people just gotta realize you got the knowledge in the era. Like, look, Allah being them, right? They was like, yo, when they first came up there, you know what I'm saying? And they like, yo, Allah tells them about Azrael. You know what I mean? He shows them Azrael. Like, you know, they don't, you know, what the fuck is going on with this?
So,
some brothers, they've been introduced to the knowledge in a certain way where, you know, but look, it's Allah saying that he's with us. So look, fuck it. We, you know, there's nothing we can say, but yeah, we a little bit confused about this. And look, I recall being confused about that too when somebody first told me that we not pro-black and anti-white. I couldn't really, at first, I couldn't really understand. I can't accept that. Like, nah, that can't be. Like, how could we be saying that the black man is God and the white man is devil? And we, I don't understand that. You know what I mean?
I do
Especially growing
understand
up
it.
in the era that I grew up in, you know what I'm saying? The Black Panthers and all of that, you know what I'm saying? You know, we looking at it like, you know, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and all these people is dead because of the oppression and shit. So what do you mean we not anti-white? What do you mean we not pro-black? That's how I grew up and shit. You understand
Well,
what I'm saying?
me, at a young age, I got drug charges. I got gun charges. So I understood what they meant. I understood what they meant, and I didn't learn that. I didn't learn it. I didn't absorb it until way later down the road.
I didn't absorb it till way later. It was way
I didn't
later.
absorb it. I might have heard it maybe once when I first got knowledge of self, because I used to go to the parliaments and I was at the parliaments and standing room only. I was at them parliaments. Those were
I
beautiful.
was there too.
That was a beautiful parliament, you know. But the devil dealt with the process of elimination. He kept putting traps out there for all of us, and a lot of us fell victim to the devil's traps.
Yeah,
And it
nah,
was so many.
I ain't falling for that.
The process of elimination.
Nah, I ain't falling for that.
A
See,
lot of people
guys,
went back. A lot of people got life in
if they were
prison.
still deaf, dumb, and blind, right? Like the devil
Yeah.
made them when they was babies, God. But see, once you walk with Allah, you don't got that excuse no more, God. You can't walk around and say how yo we the mightiest and yo we deserve all of this right here because we walk with Allah. But yeah, we didn't see that coming. Get the fuck out of here, God.
Yeah.
And listen, it's not to condemn brothers, but I'm just saying that that's the reality. That this is what I'm saying. If some young brothers, right, is getting knowledge right now and they listen to this, it's not to condemn the old brothers. It's just to say that look, we learned that lesson.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm striving to say is that despite having knowledge of self, a lot of us roll the dice in them streets and it didn't come out too good. It didn't end up too good. And we roll the dice on a lot of things
Well, look,
that we
Mr. G
shouldn't have rolled the
once
dice
this
said,
is
on.
what I'm saying.
Mr. G once said,
I'm just being honest with you, Lord.
I'll just read
No,
this.
I
Mr. G
understand what you're
once said,
saying,
you know, stupid
but you got to
and
stop
knowledge is
putting
kind of
us.
like magic. So you
You got to
speak
stop putting
reality
us
and create.
in a vacuum, right? You got to stop putting us in a vacuum. Meaning, look, as a nation, right? As a nation, our father returned when we was 5 years old.
I was born in '69. Yes.
No. Listen to what I'm saying. As a nation,
Oh yeah, yeah. I get
our
it. I
father
get it.
returned when we was 5 years old,
Yeah, the nation was fine. Yeah, 20.
right? And
Yeah.
so, listen, like any other person, that your father returns when you 5 years old, you lack guidance, G.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But this
20.
is what I'm saying. That in this day and time, right? We
Hmm.
learn those lessons. Like how you said, look, I learned those lessons, you learn those lessons, right? So now we could understand much better. Like even at the time, that was another thing. Allah said, "Get a trader, get it." What the fuck?
Yeah, I started
None of this
learning
shit
that.
is
Yeah,
making sense to me, guy.
hey, I
At the
started learning
time.
that after I stopped getting my head bust open on the block.
Right,
turn
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So now we learn them lessons, God. We learn them lessons that in reality, right, there's no more gold. That every motherfucker that's promising us more gold, rather it's in the drug game, rather it's in the robbery game, rather it's motherfucking Yakub, rather it's Prince, what's the nigga name? Prince Harold or whatever the fuck from Portugal and shit, right? Rather it's whoever is them people, there's no more gold than the gold that exists in us.
You know what the
Right?
funny thing about it is, Wise Prince and Allah Christ. You know the fuck, God. I rent CLR rules every once in a while when I go out of state, and it's called a Toro app, Turo. God, I be parking lot pimping for 3 days. You know what I'm saying? And the funny thing about it is, way back then, I was trying to do the same thing, and I'm like looking at niggas, going to the club, and it's a Benzito. It's a Benzito parking lot. It's a Beamer parking lot. It's a motherfucking Audi Maxima parking lot. You know what I'm saying? All type of back then Audi 5000, Maxima Don. You know what I'm saying? I was like, Toyota Cressida. The Jamaicans used to say Cressida. We say Cressida, but it was yeah, yeah. So I'm like, I'm like, I'm bugging. I'm tripping. You can put it in there. I'm like, God, I rented me a nice brand new 2024, 2025, and I had it for 3 days. And I was like, damn, I risked my life for this.
So
This wasn't even worth it.
I
It
got a
was
question.
it wasn't even worth it, man.
I got a question for y'all. And the brothers,
Pass me the hot sauce.
brothers that these people are saying.
Thank
I didn't hear what you said.
So I got a question. So the brothers that these people are pointing to, like the Son of Man, and Sham God, who is the author of the Son of Man, and they're pointing at other people. Did you guys see these people have arguments and disagreements?
Never.
Yeah.
Not even one time. I've never. Now look, I don't get me wrong. I've seen arguments. Never about these topics. Never about these topics. And see, those arguments never. It never transgressed a person's whole existence. Meaning, it wasn't like, yo, and it don't matter what it is, right? It's like, okay, I might disagree with you on this fact right here, but you the true and living God. We disagree. Look, we agree that there is no God but the Son of Man, and we ain't gonna lose no time searching for that does not exist on that topic, right? But rather, the Knicks or the Nets is better. I'm just giving an example, right? We might disagree on that,
You would bring up the Knicks.
right? But that would never be like, oh, motherfucker ain't God because of that. Like if we're going to say that, it's going to be because you committed a crime against Allah, a crime against the nation. You understand what I mean? Different things. You might commit a crime against society. Look, society got to deal with that.
Indeed.
You understand what I'm saying? But no, I never saw that. Like if and see, here's the thing. A lot of niggas now, they just talking on the internet. The brothers, when you talk about back in the days, these brothers get busy. Where it ain't like no thing where you wouldn't know some of this shit that motherfuckers are saying. If you would have said that to one of them, God, niggas would have got busy. It wouldn't be like no secret shit where motherfuckers wouldn't know that it was a lot of motherfuckers today, they haven't been in conversations, right? Right? When you be in a conversation where motherfuckers say, look, I said, Yakub is God. Now, say my word ain't bond. See the guy? listen. See, when you been there, then you realize, you know what? Yeah, all this talking and shit it's not that important like that.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Because I done been
Yeah.
there where it's like, yeah, everybody's true and living, but it's like, nah, say my word ain't bond. Right now, I ask you all that. Say my word ain't bond. See, most of these people right now, they just on the internet, right? And they've never had to pop out. Meaning, you've never been to where, like, look, oh, Joaquin said something? We know how to locate him. Look, he might be out the hood today, but in the next 2 days, all we gotta do is go over there. We're gonna find him. See,
Indeed.
that's one of those ways I see in my era, right? See, this is the thing, guy. The world, we supposed to be affecting the world. The world's not supposed to be affecting us. So see, a lot of them things we talking about, people doing negativity, yeah, that was the world affecting us and we was falling victim to it. But see, now this internet shit, where you get on the internet and you be saying what you be saying, but son, you didn't participate. Like, if you gonna complain that we lost, nigga, you at least have to be in the fucking action. Like, we don't work. There's certain motherfuckers, in my opinion, they think we work for them. Like, you gonna sit around and say, yeah, guys, she should be like this. Okay, so how much of that shit are you gonna do? Or you just giving the orders, and then now we supposed to do it?
Yeah.
See, that's what it be. And then you hit another thing on the head where it's like, yo, bro, not one of these people have anything about their personal life that would make me feel like, yeah, you know, this is a good person for me to take suggestions from.
Yeah.
Like right now, yeah, if you got somebody, you say, yo, you got kids, right? So boom, your daughter might say, look, I want to go to college for this particular thing. And then you might tell her, you know what? Why don't you build with this person right here? Because they've been successful in that arena.
Indeed.
But now you got niggas telling us about money. You don't got a place to stay, son. How the fuck are you telling us about money?
Yeah. Yeah, that's ass backwards.
That's what I'm saying. So see, that's why I keep my stuff small, God. I don't tell a nigga. That's what I said. I ain't never promised a motherfucker I'm gonna wave no wine and make nothing no kind of way. Look, my family, I'm talking about my kids and all of them, they be tight about that because look, they ask me some shit. I'll be like, yo, all right, let's see what happens. Meaning, look, I'm working on it,
yeah,
right? But I'm not telling you I'm gonna wave no wine, and then you're gonna have a fucking Lamborghini for your graduation.
Yeah.
Now you got other motherfuckers that's telling you, look, I'm gonna teach you this
that
knowledge.
is
Yeah. Now you got other people that's telling you, look, I'm gonna teach you this knowledge, right? And then you're gonna levitate. I'm gonna teach you this knowledge, and then it's gonna be all this other stuff. Right? So now what that make you do is follow me extra. And then what I tell you, look, the only reason we not levitating is because these niggas over here, they not saying what we saying.
Yeah. Yeah, so we all need to say the same thing so we can levitate and go to heaven.
Yeah. See, I'm from New York. So a lot of this shit is like, yo, say, I recognize the fucking game of it. So right now, you know, boom, you got people saying, you know what I'm saying, we supposed to be on all this shit right here, right? Here's the fucking problem, God. That's the fuck how religion gets started.
Yeah.
Now look, hear me out. When you look at all the other religions, right? There's a whole bunch of different histories, God.
Indeed. Yeah.
When you look at Christianity, you look at Judaism, you look at Islam, you look at any religion, there's a whole bunch of different histories of different people that was doing different things and they named it that at one time. When the shit became religious, is when niggas said, nah. We gotta only do it this way. Right or wrong, God? Right? I'm telling you historically.
That's right. And that's how you create different denominations and everything.
Because now shit is not real, God. Shit is not
That's
real.
right, exactly.
The reality is that it didn't happen in a straight line like that. But the mythology story is going to say Gabriel came and dictated the shit. We don't got no Gabriel, God. We got Elijah. We got that's what we got. Elijah manifested the truth, and then Allah drew it up. He didn't just tell them what it is, and then Allah copied and pasted it. See what it is? I think what it say Quran, I think means to quote. What is it? One of the things means just to quote. You just quoted what somebody told you. So to me, that's what they doing. You making it not real. That's how religion gets started. We got to be perfected. See the Shias and the Sunnis, right? Oh, you had to walk with them, or you had to be related to them. Like you got this hadith. God, that shit is hadith.
I think that's my internet breaking up. Let me see.
However you pronounce that word, that's what that is. That's hadith.
Yeah, I think that's my internet. You were saying, oh, go ahead. What were you saying? I think my internet's like, you're still good, but mine is hella slow.
I don't know. Huh?
What were you saying? I think my internet's like, yeah, mine's hella slow. You were talking about Shias, the Sunni and Shias, and then that's the last I heard. And then my internet got hella slow. Can you hear me, Almighty?
I can hear you loud and clear. I told you that I was eating. That's why I'm not saying nothing.
Oh yeah, I took you. All right, you're back on. Christ.
Yeah, I already know how I got kicked up.
Yeah, you were on your thing. Your thing got stuck.
I tried to look
at the last thing I heard was Shia and Sunni. I think I was stuck though.
All right, now I can see the. I can see the comments.
So then I kind of understand why they would use these brothers, because the reason why I ask is the brothers that were there at that time, if they didn't have an issue, why are they using these brothers' names to support the issue now?
God, listen, a lot of times, and we all do this, right? We ignore God. It tells you right there why they're doing that. It tells you right there why anybody would use anybody. See, sometimes we always like, no, it can't be that. But the bottom line is, listen, you know, that look, I seen it myself. You know what I mean? Look, being able to say a person's name, right? Yeah, that gives you a certain amount of power. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, I avoid it. You know what I'm saying? Because I got my own power.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it do. You know what I'm saying? It's so that's why people do it. You see what I'm saying? Because you can't show and prove what you're saying right now. See, that's what I'm saying. You can say whatever you want to say about back in the days. I'm telling you, bro, the life I was living, I needed a fire. Somebody had to tell me that in the beginning. I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait until the 1 to 40.
Yeah.
And see, the way the history goes, that's what happened.
I remember, God, I was 12 years old drinking beer, God.
Exactly.
I look at 12 years old today. Like God told me, man, when I first got knowledge of self, that's not for you. And he also said that green stuff will save your life. I used to drink beer, God. And them Arabs used to sell it to me, God.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, they should give us matches, cigarettes, all type of shit. Remember that? Yeah.
I guess the most famous example of bringing someone's name is, Allah said that.
Yeah, you see, here's the thing, man. And see, like I said, a lot of shit is not for the internet. You see, even some of them top rules that y'all be saying, God, yeah, God, it was other wisdom given on that.
Top rules.
God, there's things that people be saying that look, this is Allah said this is the rules.
Oh yeah.
And some of those things, God, Allah said, well, look, if you want to do that. See? And what happens is a lot of people don't know all them histories because you haven't been amongst all the people. Or when you go amongst the other people and they tell you something that you didn't hear from the first person, you assume it's a lie.
Yeah.
But see what you're trying to do right now, right? Is this what I'm saying? There's lots of things. Like there's some things that people be saying, right? Like, you start getting this, the knowledge came out in 1963 shit. Look, I've heard brothers say that they had the knowledge in 1963, meaning that they knew about Islam and wasn't eating pig.
Yeah.
But knowing supreme mathematics, your family name being Allah, that started in 1964. And ain't nobody said that happened. Like even them people, they don't be the people, motherfuckers talk about 1963, right? They don't never tell you nothing about Allah. What Allah told you in 1963? Because the people from 1964, they told us what Allah told us.
Yeah. Yeah, I see it as another way of separating us. Disqualifying.
Right, God, you did hit that on the head. That's what I'm saying. All these things, even me bringing this up, it's just to say that God, these is all the people. Like, look, even what's that lesson where it say, look, it's 5% in all kinds of walks of life, from high society to the prisons to whatever. That's what one thing was accepted, G. Like, listen, when the brother went to get the street sign, right? He went to get the street sign, and he said, "Yo, he's in there talking to people." And eventually, they tell him, "Yo, look, go talk to this person right here." When he went to talk to that person was born in the nation, and say, "Yeah, all right, boom. This what you got to do. This what you got to do. This what you got to do." And that's how that shit went through so fast, guy. Now we don't know that person. That person might have stopped coming to the rally decades ago, whatever. But you know what? It's 5% in there. Every walk of life, every street crew you can name, from Supreme Team, the Wild Bunch, Joke, whatever, son. If they were successful, there was a 5% in there. And then look, that's not the best history to give, but I'm just telling you, when we say all worlds from the highest to the lowest, when I say the white man is not God, right? That means that, listen, in all them worlds,
The high, yeah.
the 5% touched there. And all of those worlds have, people from all those various worlds have their experience. I mean, like, look, if you gave the knowledge today, right, to somebody who was 9, and you gave it to somebody who was 17, would you tell them the same thing?
Nope.
God, that's a common range that I've heard people say. Like, yeah, I got the knowledge when I was 9. I got the knowledge when I was 11. I'm talking about in the last time. P was 17, God. He was already in the street, so what he's hearing is not the same thing. And see, people not taking it. See, look, it happens to me, God. Well, look, person comes, they be like, "Yo, God, what's going on with you today?" What you mean what's going on with me? The last time we saw you, you was all smiling and laughing. So what you think? I was left in that state? And you think that I only exist when you came here and saw me, right? Then nothing ain't happened. When you came back, I supposed to have been in that same state.
Indeed.
You understand what I'm saying? And they say, "No, yo, God, you acting funny, God. You not all laughy and jokey like you was." Nigga, how the fuck am I acting funny? And you're the one that thinks that I'm a fucking doll baby, that you can put me in the corner right there, ain't nothing gonna happen to me till you come back.
Exactly, Shakanubu. Things happen between then and now.
So see?
Yeah, there's brothers that I ain't seen like in 20 years. I'm like, I'm not saying our brotherhood is questioned, but I know you're not the same person that you was 20 years ago.
Yeah. That's what you're gonna ask a person. You're gonna ask a person, listen, what's new? What's the growth and development that you dealt with in that time? That's what you're gonna ask the person.
Right.
That's what the whole conversation is gonna be about. That's what you're gonna be looking for when you meet the person. You see, oh shit, but they, you still do this.
True indeed, Shaka.
But that's what I'm saying. People are making this shit into a religious story now, G. That's the shit I don't like.
We're not religious, or we're not a religion.
Real life is not clean like the Bible, right? I'm talking about, it's where it's like, look, the person came and they ordained you with, like, Gabriel came and talked to Mary, and that was it. And everything else was established. We didn't have no trials and tribulations. God, that's not our history. That's not our history of what happened. And see, because motherfuckers is religious, now it's like, oh shit, it's less people at the rally now than it was when you came into the knowledge. Now you gotta get up. God, why is it like that? Why is it? It's like that because you ain't getting busy, nigga.
We on the internet. I watch the parliament on the internet. on the
Yeah,
foundation.
that's the look. That's another problem. You watch the porn on the internet, and now you got your fix.
Yeah, I can't afford to, you know what I'm saying? My little bit
Look,
of
you
currency.
might be doing it because you can't afford it, but listen. For instance, I didn't go inside, but I was on the block of the rally. But look, there's been other rallies that I was at the rally, and by the time I got home, somebody called me who wasn't at the rally, telling me about something that I didn't even know happened at the rally.
Yeah.
See, when that starts happening, it's like, yeah, God, look, the reason why that's happened because you ain't pop out. Like you said, God, look, when it was standing room only, did that happen? No. But now that it's standing room only on the internet, is that happening? Oh, but it's only our fault. It's only the people that's still there doing their duty fault. It's not none of you niggas that's not coming no more. It's not none of y'all. It's only the people who be there. See, God, I don't take shit on face value. You can't distract me. You can't fool me. I know exactly what the fuck is going on.
Peace, God. I'm on live right now. Peace. I'll build with you later. Yeah. So, yeah, it's it's a situation where I know things on the internet could get blown out of proportion. That's like the first time. That's the first time I'm seeing it, and so I don't want to blow it out of proportion because I've had these discussions before. You know, early on when I got the knowledge to now. So this isn't something that is new to me as far as the issue, you know, with some people having with refinement. It's not new to me.
I ain't just talking about refinement. I ain't just talking about refinement. You know, full
Oh yeah,
disclosure.
yeah.
Look, I'm still hyped about the King Son shit, right? The Lord Jamar
Oh
shit. See,
yeah.
because to me, all of that is more is even a greater example, God, of
Yeah.
where it's like, yo, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like, see, look, I didn't like the shit that he did with, and look, I don't even know Busta Rhymes like that. I met him a couple times, you know what I'm saying? I've seen him before, but he don't want people like that. But somebody asked you how you got the knowledge. They didn't ask you about what Busta Rhymes is doing and not doing.
Yeah.
And see, what happens, God, and it's just that, listen, God, stop blaming everybody for how you came out.
Yeah.
And how you came out, right, in life, that's because of what you did and didn't do. And see, sometimes that shit is a blessing. Sometimes you might have seen somebody and it's like on face value, like, yo, that person achieved a level of success or something I want to see, but you didn't know what they went through to get that. And see, now that Puffy's on trial, you see an example of that.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
yeah, you wanted to be a rap star, but was you ready to do what you had to do over there? And see, sometimes, you know, a person, whatever, now all of a sudden you talking, right? You talking, but really you talking about yourself, man. You talking about yourself and what you did, because see, in none of my lessons, right? It didn't say I was supposed to help you with that. It didn't say, listen, this is the bottom line, God, and this is for every fucking body, God. Think about the head start we gave you, say, with this knowledge of self. Now, I know today people is getting the knowledge at a little bit older of an age, God. Right? But God, you started off with the knowledge of self, and this how you came out, and it's our fault? It's not a motherfucker can't sit like God. How many people is out there right now? Is like, damn man, I wish I could have walked with Firstborn Prince like that, man. I wish I could have known Dumont YG and all these people. You know what I'm saying? Just you know what I mean. Every day, you know, this is the people I rock with, right? God, how the fuck you go from there to blaming everybody for how you came out?
Yeah, because I definitely said that. I wish I could have walked with them. You know,
exactly. So now I'm gonna turn around and say, "Oh man, the nation shitted on me." What? No, nigga, you went out there and fucked up, right? And now you back here.
yeah.
That could never happen, God. That's like the motherfucker going back and blaming Harvard. Nigga blame Harvard for why you got fired. Hey nigga, if it wasn't for us, you wouldn't have had no job.
I don't know. Maybe I'm like overly optimistic. I understand that, you know, the nation has its problems, but I understand that this nation is only, you know, about to 61 years old. And so there's certain things that, yeah, it, you know, we could be further, but a lot of nations are further because they're taxing the people.
God, listen, and not just that, but you cherry picking.
Yeah, exactly.
It's motherfuckers that was righteous and sincere, right? And wasn't successful because of how they did what they did. And I'm not condemning what they did, but obviously if they wasn't successful, they didn't do it right. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning like, look, you got people, like they'll be like, yeah, well, what about this people right here? They came up in 40 years. Well, what about the Tamil Tigers? See, a lot of motherfuckers don't know about them and shit. These motherfuckers are fighting for fucking decades, man. And look, they was doing everything. They wasn't going to the oppressors for nothing. They had their own hospitals, their own schools, whatever. They was educating their own people doing what they was doing.
Who'd you say? You said
the Tamil Tigers.
The Tom Hill Tigers?
Tamil, Tamil.
Okay.
These are some black people that was in India when these Hindu people started doing their thing. And they ran these people into some small islands at the south coast of India. And there, they just stood their ground. And what happened, it's been a minute now, maybe about 10 years ago, they dropped a bomb over there and they killed the leader. And that kind of destabilized the resistance right there. So they not like they was. But just saying that's happened, G. The Palestinians, that's what I'm saying. Like you know, when you said, oh, well, why is the Christian church? Nigga, they down. How the fuck you gonna compare motherfuckers who's down to motherfuckers who's not down? So when people start talking about, you know what I'm saying, oh, the nation should have this because it's been that long, and the nation should have this because it's been that long. Nigga, there's a total difference in what happened, you know, to the United States, right? Meaning that, look, one of the reasons that war didn't go too bad is because it was British people fighting other British people. See, there's a whole difference when it's British people fighting people that they don't see as their own people.
Indeed.
So see, all these things, that's why I said a lot of people, you cherry picking the facts and you're not looking at reality. You're not looking good.
We didn't have free labor either.
All these various things. That's what I'm saying. It's all these various things when people say, well, yo, you know, we should have this like these people. Well, what else you ready to do like those people? You ready to eat pig like them? You ready? What else you ready to do like them, G? Because how can you say that that's not how they got what they got? Like if a nigga got a car, he got this car right here. Okay, you gonna be a drug dealer like him? You gonna be a bank robber like him? You gonna go to jail and do life like him? So that you can get that Benz. He got a Benz and he's only 22. Okay, go on right on ahead.
Yeah, and spend 22 years.
Yeah, exactly. Look, that's what that shit comes down to. Look, you get a maximum. You know, you had a couple outliers, but you get a maximum of 5 years. Kingpin shit, you get that real money. You get a maximum of 5 years, then you get 30 in the penitentiary. That's how that works.
Easy 30.
So, you know, it's the same thing when a motherfucker come into this, right? It's like, all right, what's your long-term goals? See, because if your goal is to argue with people about what they got in mathematics, or, you know, you're gonna resurrect the 5% and all this dumb shit, guys, listen, ain't none of that long term.
Oh man, resurrect.
Yeah, ain't none of that long term. See, long term is, look, right now, right? My youngest daughter is she's about to graduate this year.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? She's going to college for finance. That's long term, guy.
That's peace. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? My granddaughter, you know, she's in school now. You know, my son is talking to her. He think, you know, he gonna try to get her to come live with him because she complaining about certain shit over there. That's long term, guy. If we talk about generations down the line, these people is 5% and they gotta live their life in society how I made a decision, right, before any of them was born, and now we all living according to that. Where, look, they got to navigate this. When we go in here, we not taking no immunizations. So we got to, how we going to navigate this? Like, see, my second daughter, she don't care about no principles. She will file religious. She ain't taking no vaccine. Her principles to her is the nation. Yeah, I hear you. My principles came from in the house. I don't know who that person you're talking about. Your name is Allah. That's the only Allah I know. You understand what I'm saying?
Indeed.
That's long term, guy. This little shit that we doing, like, yeah, you know, you might make a little legend and niggas remember that shit for a minute, but long term, right, is 25,000 years.
Indeed.
And a lot of this shit is like, yeah, God, look, we're gonna bang out and then what? Because see, dissension in the ranks is like that hypes the enemy up, son. Like it's nothing the enemy loves to see like dissension in the ranks, son.
Yep, that means you're weak.
You weak than a motherfucker, son. You dead in the water, son. Dissension in the ranks.
Yeah. And it
so
could be
that's the
from
deal. Look, there's a lesson that Prince wrote, God. There's a lesson that Prince wrote, and there's a question. It says, like, yo, do the firstborn argue about certain shit? And the answer was, nah, the firstborn don't waste time on shit like that. we got shit to do. I can't recall the name of it or none of that, right?
Is it the plus degree questions to ask the firstborn?
It could be. Show me it next time you get a chance. Send it to me. I'll tell you if that's it.
Well, it's a shit ton of questions. So
Well, that one is in there. You know, do the firstborn argue about XYZ? He's like, nah, it's firstborn. We don't involve ourselves with none of that. Like, we got shit to do where none of that's important. You know what I'm saying?
I got my binders. So.
Yeah. Well, we'll see, man. But you know, at the end of the day, you know, the main separation niggas gotta stop doing is I'm holy and y'all motherfuckers the devil. See, that's the main shit that underlies all the argument. Is that whatever I got, whatever I say, whatever I do is holy. And so now the rest of what everybody else is doing and shit is establishment. Whatever I say is the truth, so what everybody else say is a lie. But at the end of the day, like I said, most of the people just don't know the history. Like, look, when I'm talking to King Son, he doesn't know the fucking history, God. Like when I asked him, I told him, I said, yo, God, listen, if we supposed to be Muslim, God, if there's some kind of confusion about who we are, why they got a flag and we got a flag? Because see, you acting like all this shit was some happenstance shit or some snake shit that happened after Allah returned. But why we got a flag and they got a flag? Because see, there's a whole history. We didn't just end up with that flag because Sham God had the flag. We was like, oh shit, y'all shit look fly, God. Yo, let me get one of those. And then all of a sudden, we all had the flag, God. No, there's a whole story from when it was made, right? So when Allah was able to see it, to see, and a lot of people don't know, there was more than one flag, God. There was more than one flag that was presented at that time, God. And Allah chose that one and said, this is our flag, God. So why the fuck you gonna act like this shit happened by mistake, or that this shit you talking about the priesthood, the 5% priesthood made all this shit up? No, God, that's not what happened. But see, he don't really know the history, guys. See, listen, somebody gave me a what's name. You know, I think it's not clear enough. So I'm not gonna be using, but look, this is what he said. Right? He said, look, some motherfuckers know their degrees, but they don't know their lessons. And what he mean by that is you memorize the degrees, but you didn't absorb none of the lessons that's contained in those degrees. None of the principles that you could take from there and apply in other places and other times, right? And still come out right. You don't got none of those. So that's why I see like this nigga you revealed now, like, yo, bro, you mean all that time you was just quoting? All that time you was just quoting the degrees. You never learned them. You never studied them. Because you see, look, when somebody tells you, yo, well, you know, why the degree says Muslim right there. Okay, Mr. Smarty Pants. Why the degree says Muslim right there, right? Okay, let me ask you a question. How do you apply the 10th degree in the 1 and 14? Oh, well, God, you know, that's jealousy, hatred. Oh, hold on, wait. So you realize that you got to draw that up. You realize that you got to draw that up, but for some reason, I got to take that degree, right? I got to take the 14th degree and the 136. I got to just take that literally. That's the only way. We're not going to draw that up.
This is the plus degree. It has the questions, but not the answers. So, questions asked to firstborn Prince Allah to record the history of this nation of gods and earths. So one
It's
of
a
the
recording.
well, it's just the questions. So it's 172 questions, but they didn't
It's written down or it's recorded.
It's typed.
All right, yeah.
And so they don't have the answers. Well, it says to record the history of this nation of gods and earths. Now, I don't know if there's because this came in I got all my plus degrees at once. It was like 1,000 of them motherfuckers. And so I don't know if there's answers to this anywhere. But one of them is what was the relationship like between the firstborns?
Yeah, it was that was the kind of questions. It was shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But I would have to see the answers to, you know what I'm saying, say definitively. But just saying that, yeah, nah, that you know, like, look, there was other things now. Don't get me wrong, right? Look, was Yakub God of the devil?
I heard that one.
Is there even such a thing as half original? You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. Those was mostly young brothers and people in jail doing that, guy.
Yeah.
It wasn't the people like us now that, God, look, we gotta handle the business and we stopping to argue about this fucking trivia. That's what I'm saying. Like, back in the day, we ain't had nothing better to do, God. Like I said, most of those conversations took place either in jail or amongst young brothers, guy, out in front of high schools and on corners, guy. That didn't happen, you know, when you came to the rally, all that shit got shut down.
Yeah, you know, some of the stories I've heard is that, you know, Allah didn't really care for them to argue about shit like this
At all. Like, see, for
It-
instance, right? Look, and all these arguments, right? See, a lot of these people don't know that, look, even at the top of their tree, they admit that at one time it was power or justice.
Yeah.
Right? God, listen, the way it was told to me, it first was power, justice, or refinement. And it was manifested like that at the rally, and nobody said nothing. Nobody from Mecca, nobody from Medina, none of the place, nobody said nothing. I know brothers from Mecca, like Ahmed, who he didn't have refinement in his mathematics. But I seen somebody telling somebody one day that's not supposed to be in there, and Ahmed stopped him and said, nah, what you got is right.
Shakanulu said, isn't that where God body comes from? You talk about the jail? That's what I heard.
Yeah. See, God body really means, like, when you say student body, meaning the body of all the students. We say that all these students is one thing. They constitute one body. So we're saying that, you know, the brothers that's in here, right? You know, this is how we, you know, see whatever the thing is. And then that shit, you know, because it's jail, right? Oh, the God body, that's, you know, everybody from the outside kind of look at us like that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's another gang and shit. You understand what I mean? So yeah, they the God bodies.
My nephew that was in jail in Oregon came out and was like, "Unc, you still dealing with that God body shit?" I'm like, "God body."
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So he even yeah.
Cause
So
see, I remember a lot of the brothers that be in there, they come in there at a young age.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so they haven't had a whole lot of experience like that. You know what I'm saying? And at least in New York, it's hit or miss. Meaning you could be in there with somebody that walk with a lot, or you could be in there and there nobody ever seen the whole 120 lessons. You understand what I'm saying? So you know, that's how that type of thing can spread or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, like I said, when we young, it's like, you know, a pipeline. Like this brother's like, yo, he got arrested last week. This week he back out, whatever. So, you know, all this various lingo is just floating around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Shaka said, is that why there's a big argument over refinement?
nah, the argument, listen, and let me look. The argument is because of jackasses. Now that's not the reason. I'm not saying that that's the reason. I'm not saying that you a jackass if you got refinement or if you don't got it. I'm saying you a jackass if you arguing with people over it. If you walking around trying to proscribe a person's whole existence. You understand what I'm saying? Like, see, at the end of the day, God, look, a motherfucker got what he got. And if he gonna give it up because you said it, then he's a bitch and he don't need to be in this.
Yeah,
that's
a
the
lot
bottom
of people.
line, God. Don't
A
get
lot
the
of
fuck
people.
out of here. If you're gonna change this shit because those niggas said that, and you don't feel that it was shown and proven, get your ass the fuck up out of here. So
A
I'm
lot of people just.
good.
Some people are big headed that they want followers and they want someone that submit to them.
Yeah, but see, that's why the thing is, God, to be who the fuck you is. Because Nick can say whatever. But at the end of the day, here's the thing. Whether I got it or not, see, I got some shit to put on the scale. Where's your shit besides this bullshit you talking?
Yeah.
See, that's at the end of the day. That's what really counts, G. That's what really counts, God. Is that listen, okay? Allah, what happened to Allah happened to Allah. But see, the fact that we here right now, right? The fact that, you know what I'm saying, you know, all of us, well, me and you, right, wasn't even physically birthed when he did what he did, and now we here with his, see, that's long term, G. That's 25,000.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying? You got a little bit of money over there, and you had some change, and now you a crackhead and shit after you came out of jail. That don't count. that don't mean a motherfucking thing, God. Now, if generations down the line, motherfuckers are still doing something, like they got motherfucking whatever enterprises, and that shit started, you know what I mean, like the Kennedys, right? Where, yeah, that shit started from you doing whatever you was doing, and that's what counts. But you can't do that. You can't, see, that's what I'm saying. There's a science to building, there's a science to destroying. You can't just go outside and destroy, and expect something to be built. I'm saying from just experience, which see now niggas are on the internet. But you go outside, right, and you gotta teach, listen, these people cannot like you. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't just teaching on my block, I wasn't just teaching in my school, I wasn't just teaching in my borough. So you go on all these various places, right? You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, you used to say, look, Supreme means the soup that tastes like ice cream.
Yeah, I remember you say that.
Yeah, meaning that
Peace,
look, it was good for you, right? It nourished the body, but it tastes good.
Indeed. The world
You
is yours. Peace.
And see,
You know who that is?
Yeah, he be coming on my live. I can't recall exactly who it is, but you know what I'm saying.
Peace to you.
What you said?
Oh, I said peace to him.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying. You gotta have magnetic. you gotta have attracting power. See, a lot of people don't realize that's like, yeah, your truth don't have no attracting power. When you sitting there just disrespecting people, yo, you a savage, you a swine eater, you this, you below me, this many fucking levels. Who the fuck is going? And see, that's what ends up happening, G. That's what ends up happening when people really don't know what they're doing, right? And you trying to recreate some other shit would happen. But those are the things. I mean, I agree with it in terms of, the original thing is that, yeah, these things is creating factions.
Indeed.
Like that's the difference that I say now to then. There was no us and them. Meaning, there's brothers that I've known all my life. I'm really just finding out whether they got refinement or not because of this shit. You know what I'm saying? There was no factions. It wasn't like, oh, those are the brothers that think that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, those are, it might be one individual, like, yeah, I don't like that nigga, man. He said this and that. But it wasn't, oh, those are, oh, do you have this? Like, are you from this faction? Nah, that didn't exist, G. We all was there on 125th Street, the Deuce, Javits Center, wherever was the place where we accumulate on that time, right? The African Street Festival, whatever it is, everybody's out here. All various, just what I'm saying, like now it's like a thing, like, yo, you learn from this person or whatever. Now we talking this. And just a standpoint where, like, let the white man do his job.
Yeah, don't make it easier on him.
Yeah, you. It's like you cooperating with the white man. Like, look, all the white man got to do when he needs some ammunition, right, is go on your page.
Exactly.
Like, let them do their job. They got motherfuckers that get paid to do that. They professional. They don't need your fucking help, right, to tell people that, look, oh, you can find them at the school. What?
Assuming they're not the ones that are getting paid.
Listen, they worse than them. They worse than them. And see, that's the shit. It for free? That's the shit was causing the separation, God. See, what's causing the separation is see me and it's, look, you can say this is my opinion, right? But in my opinion, I came how I came from helping people to elevate. I didn't came how I came from saying, yeah, I got this, and you should stick with me because all these other niggas, they don't got this.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? I ain't came how I came, yo, listen, the person that, this. See, I really was just like, look, if a person, even if I might not have taught them, right, whatever it was, like, look, you got the knowledge, you in the neighborhood, but you don't know the brothers at the school. You don't know the firstborn. Like, you see them at the rally, but you don't be maintaining with them. You know what I'm saying? You come on, let's go over there. You know what I mean? Now whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Or you might have had the knowledge, but you didn't know 120. You didn't have all the lessons. Or you might have had the lessons, but you didn't really comprehend everything. You see what I'm saying? Or whatever it is. You see what I'm saying? Just like, look, see the brothers, they was like, yo, look, they want to start their class. Now, see, some niggas is going to think like this. They're going to say, nah, man, I don't want these motherfuckers to get a class, because then what if their class be better than my class? What if they class, what if because they're younger than me, they class outlast my class? Niggas think like that, guy. I'm telling you, as stupid as that shit sound, there's motherfuckers that think like that.
Speaking of that, peace to P Almighty, peace to the God, him and his class. I heard great things. I do remember when he was in the class when you started the channel, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, although I take it that all those brothers come from somewhere different, right? Different geographical location, and maybe some of them had the knowledge before. I don't know. I haven't talked to every single one of them, and I don't know if they got everything the same, right? And so, let's say one of them did have something different in their mathematics, and you were like, "Oh well, nah, I only teach this." You see what I'm saying? So that limits that class, and that's what some of those brothers, if they wanted to do, that's something they would have done.
God,
we don't teach that here.
Listen. Not one of them got refinement in their mathematics. And you just hit it on the head, guy. You see how that never came up in the class. I wouldn't even tell them. I wouldn't even try to change it, guy. I wouldn't even try to change it. If they said, "Look, guy, this is what we got power," then I would just teach them what I know that the brothers that only got power. This is the science that goes with that, guy.
Indeed.
I wouldn't try to tell them like, "Nah, God, you need to put refinement in it." Because I might tell them the history, you know what I mean, of you know what I mean, that I know about it. But that's what I'm saying. That never happened, God. When a motherfucker's doing that, see, you trying to absorb motherfuckers. Like, I'm not trying to, you teaching this brother. Look, this my brother. So, you know what I'm saying? I got some shit. I'm gonna add on with him just like I added on with you. But I'm not trying to, belittle you. Like I'm just, you had niggas like that. Where it's like you trying to take niggas students or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, he don't got as much knowledge as me, and this and that, and that, this. That guy, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
But yo, as stupid as that shit sound, it's people that think like that, G.
Yeah, and I take it that Justice doesn't have a refinement, and when he got here, I showed him around, took him around, brought him to my house. You see, so there's no issue. Like
we talking about Long Island Justice?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So he came over. He came through a couple of weeks ago. He touched down here, and we only had enough time to spend one day, but I went to go grab him. We did some stuff, brought him to my house. Seen the kid, seen the queen, all that stuff. Went downtown, met up with Savior, met up with all them. You see, so there's no, and I don't even know if he has a refinement in his math because it wasn't the Power Refinement Day, and that doesn't mean anything when it comes to brotherhood. You see what I'm saying?
God, listen, you took the words out of my mouth. See, y'all was being brothers, God. And see, when you brothers with people, then the differences, it don't seem as much, G. Like, look, that's one of the things me and King Sonny is going through right now. When he like, yo, man, why you treat me like that? And it's like, bro, because you look who the fuck you with. Like at the end of the day, this is what I'm saying. You're not talking like it's listen. And see, it's like all this other shit becomes trivial. Whether your favorite color is purple or green becomes trivial, God. When motherfuckers is actually brothers, when you actually know that brother, where you like, yo, you know what? He ain't got refinement in his mathematics, or he got refinement in his mathematics, but the guy be building. There's a lot of people that's like that, where it's like, yo, you know what? I disagree with them on a lot of shit, but you gotta give them credit with that right there. They do their thing. You understand what I'm saying? But a lot of motherfuckers just like you caught up, and at the end of the day, you trying to compete, man. You trying to compete, and look, I hate to crush people's dreams, but you can't compete.
Yeah.
You can't compete. You know why? Because the shit we doing, God, is already been done, God. God, listen, I'm not going to be the first person to do too much things in New York, God. That's just not going to happen. That shit sailed, God. I got to be in my time and do what I do in my time.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I can't compete with the firstborn and shit. I can't compete with y'all. I can't compete with the younger brothers, man. I got to just be in my time, man, do what I'm doing.
Indeed.
And see, that should be happening. Niggas want to compete. You want to compete, and bro, you listen. The game is over.
Yeah.
The rings have been given out. The chips have been awarded, son. The games is over. You could play this game right here. Try to win a chip this year, son.
Because now, if it keeps going this direction, because normally it's like, okay, you meet someone, it's like, peace, God, what's your name? You know, peace, earth, what's your name? Blah, blah, blah. They say your name. All right, where you from? Okay, how long you had the knowledge? All right, peace. You knowledge 120? All right. Now, if it keep going to, you know, it's okay, what's in your mathematics? And you know,
Yeah, see, that sounds stupid.
What's in your mathematics?
Listen.
Not what's today's mathematics, what's in your mathematics. And then that determines if we're brothers, if we're family.
Yeah, see, now look, that's a whole other level. I haven't been there yet.
I'm just saying,
Hey,
if it keeps going in the way this religious kind of, you know, thing is going to get
there. It gives a whole new meaning to the title because, like I said, I never been in one of those conversations. But it's literally like that now. So look, I'm gonna tell you, y'all have entered Sunni Shia territory.
No, I'm not saying that's what it is now. I'm saying
that is what it is, God. That's what it is because see, at the end of the day, that is dictated, right, by who you got the knowledge from. And look, what's the Sunni and Shia divide? Is that some people feel like his biological family was closer to him, and some people feel like the people that was his warriors was the closest to him.
Yeah.
And what's the beef now? Whoever was the closest to Allah apparently got the most truth, and so now everybody else is from a different faction. God, I'm telling you. Listen, remember that was one of my first lives, son. When I said we don't have sex, we don't have factions. We look.
There's no
of all the lessons, that was one of the first things that he told me about Allah. He said, "Look, we're not supposed to have factions. There ain't supposed to be no factions. It ain't supposed to be, yo, this group of friends over there because of this group or against this group of friends over there."
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, I'm gonna stay true to the teachings, stay true because this is a family science, and you know, deal with my brothers and sisters. You know?
Yeah, we got. I'm gonna tell you what motherfuckers really got to do now too is, you know, like see, like for instance, what I'm saying, my own personal experience, right? You know, getting the knowledge in the 80s, a lot of things
I'll be
were already
back.
distorted. Huh?
I said I'll be back.
Yeah, getting the knowledge in the 80s, you know, a lot of things was already distorted. You know what I'm saying? in terms of you know, even what was acceptable for somebody who say they're 5% to be doing, right? A lot of that had already got distorted. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's a you know, everybody got to deal with growth and development. You know what I'm saying? It appears that that's the trial of this time. Of this time, the internet is the new crack, yo. We this tiny little rock caused a whole fucking world of problems. this tiny little shit right here, say, is about to cause you a whole world of problems. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of them things where, see, that's why I said, look, I wouldn't even try to compete with the brothers right now because, look, y'all got a whole other level of trials and tribulations that y'all got to go through. Like I said, look, that didn't exist, guys. In our time, it was just, look, you know, if those people don't know their lessons, you know, certain things, you know, if they eating pig, certain things, you know, we in the hood, ain't no white girls around back there. A lot of the other stuff is not even there. It's really, listen, are you eating Twinkies and do you know your lessons?
I definitely know my lessons, and I'm not eating no swine. I just came. My home attendant go to the pizzeria, the Muslim pizzeria, and got me a beef patty and some a slice. The Muslim pizzeria. I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
Is Christ, are you stuck? Yeah, I think so. What do you think about all this, Almighty?
Hey God, we got to continue building to make a better way. You know, whether you got power farming, whatever the case may be, we got to continue to build and continue to go forward in life. That's it. That's it, God. If that's what you got, that's what you got. Fine. No problem. There ain't no problem with me. I'm not going to argue with you because you didn't have refinement.
Yeah, not just that, just the separation. You know,
I think it's some people don't like some people. For whatever past experiences you had in the nation, you know what I'm saying, and you know, favoritism comes about. I don't like you, you don't like me, etc. You don't like me, and this is that it is. It's stupid. Me myself, you know, just move on and let's build on what we can build on, and we take it from there. That's how I see it, Lord.
Indeed.
Yeah. I see your earth and your baby over there in the corner.
Oh yeah. She just walked in. You gonna say peace?
Yeah, peace. Yeah, I seen her walk with the baby in her hand.
She was already on here before. Oh, she don't wanna. Yeah, but
yeah. When you got out the seat, she walked past. But yeah, God, I'm not gonna. I don't think we need to waste our energy arguing about anything because there's so much other things that we need to do as far as the nation is concerned. Anything, it's like, you know, if I had a past experience and you know, say the breakups are breakups, God. That's just part of life. You just move on. You don't bother that situation no more. It's long gone. But if some people don't like you, they don't like you, no matter what you say. Just keep on building.
The refinement argument started in the 2000s. It wasn't even an issue in the late 80s and 90s. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Unfortunately, I guess fortunately, that I did get the knowledge in the 2010s, not even the 2010s. And so by the time I got the knowledge, it was already something that was going on, full on. And so, and getting the knowledge and meeting brothers from different trees, I'm very well versed in this argument about that. You know, I've had these kind of conversations almost since I got the knowledge. You know, so yes, Sham God King. Yeah, I asked questions, and you know, from brothers from the 70s, 80s, 90s, you know, and they basically said the same thing, that it wasn't an issue. I don't know when it became an issue, but yeah, since I had the knowledge, it was an issue because I do have cultural freedom.
Do you know that I used to catch hell because I didn't drink beer coming around certain people?
You said what?
They call me holy and a religious god because I didn't drink beer.
Oh yeah. Then they would probably say that to me because you know I don't drink, smoke, I don't eat meat. They probably call me a Muslim god.
To me, that's just Nation of God and Earth soap operas. I don't think we need to be putting that on the internet. I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. So. But yeah, I'm about to hop off. I gotta go to that meeting I was telling you about.
All right. Yeah, I was trying to get on it too. I had to put my phone in the freezer because it was overheating on me. It was overheating on me because I had it at 100% when I got on, but it was hot. It was hot like fire. And it keep on getting ready to ICU. The IU kept popping up like it's going to cut off. So I had to blow it. I kept on blowing it to cool it down. Then I had to put it in the freezer for a little while. But
do you have the display on 100% too?
The display. I don't know what you mean by display.
The brightness.
Yes.
Yeah, I understand that, you know, you're older and stuff, and so when you're older, your eyes get, you know, all that. But if you turn down the brightness, it won't be as hot. What you doing?
All right.
Yeah, so we'll do this. We'll do it even longer next week.
You got it, Lord. Well, peace and love and respect to all human families of the peace and respect to all human families of the planet Earth. And you know, we keep on building, and you know, if it's personal, let's not just I'd say just keep on building regardless. Well, we together or we go our separate ways. We keep on building. It's just that simple.
Indeed. It's that Allah said, you want to see me to come together.
Right.
So
we'll find something. We'll find something to come together with. It might not be power. I know I got to clean myself up in my everyday affairs constantly. You know, always changes coming about for making myself better. You know, and I'll be around the smokers and the drinkers, but I won't be smoking and drinking.
I gotta head out, G. So I'll be with you later.
Peace to the God. Peace to the family. Peace to all human families of the planet Earth.
Peace, everyone. So, another great one. So, peace to the gods, peace to the earth, peace to the babies, man. Peace to the babies, peace to the civilized, and peace to the uncivilized, because the uncivilized need more. Peace.